Welcome back. Okay, let's jump right in because today we are looking at something that is deeply, deeply relevant to our modern experience. I mean, did you know the average 20-something checks their phone over 150 times a day? No wonder we're completely exhausted, right? Today, we are unpacking a concept called Virtues 224.1, the vibrational audit, presented by a figure known as Lord Blue. If you have ever felt just entirely drained by the constant noise of the world, this explainer is going to be incredibly eye-opening for you. It's essentially this internal audit for our emotional and spiritual health, and it's designed to help us figure out exactly where all of our energy is leaking.
Okay, let's dive into this and look at our roadmap out of digital burnout. We're breaking the whole thing down into 4 clear stages. We've got the vibrational audit, the outrage economy, the collapse of reality, and finally, becoming an evolver. Let's just jump right to step 1. Section 1, the vibrational audit. This is the first stage of the framework, where we basically identify the actual root problem behind our chaotic daily lives. So, why does life feel like a never-ending emotional roller coaster? You know exactly the feeling I'm talking about. We are constantly buzzing, scrolling, swiping, reacting to an endless stream of notifications. Our bodies are practically just running on chemical spikes and crashes all day long. But what is actually driving that? Well, according to Lord Blue's presentation, the issue isn't just our natural body chemistry. It's actually about what we're lacking underneath it all.
Lord Blue uses this really brilliant financial metaphor here. He states that virtues, we're talking things like peace, joy, gratitude, hope, these are actually supposed to act as your internal battery packs. When you cultivate these virtues, they store what he calls holy fire, and this fire, it acts as a literal shock absorber. So, when the world inevitably throws drama or chaos your way, these stored virtues actually cushion the blow. They keep your nervous system stable. Think about it like a container. Each virtue is a container. If you don't fill it up with real peace or real gratitude, the container stays empty. And then, your nervous system just takes the full, brutal hit of every single crazy thing that happens in your day.
And this brilliantly illustrates what happens when that account is empty. We see a really stark contrast. Instead of holy fire, that deep inner fuel and spiritual stability, we drop down into relying on emotional knockoffs. When we don't have real virtues, we try to survive on cheap drama, quick outrage, digital addictions, just fast hits of excitement. But the huge problem here is that these substitutes don't actually hold you up. They literally just keep you bouncing from one temporary high to the next. Which brings us to Section 2, the outrage economy. This is where we look at how external platforms actively exploit these empty virtue accounts. So this source text introduces this wild concept called atmospheric slime. Now, obviously, this isn't a literal monster hiding under your bed. It's that constant, exhausting environment of digital outrage and tribal war that we basically swim in every single day. It's like wading through this thick, neon swamp of angry tweets and loud notifications. These digital platforms have figured out a neat little trick. If you don't have inner peace acting as a shock absorber, every breaking news alert and every controversial post is going to slam straight into your nervous system. They literally profit off trapping you in this hyper-reactive state. Real conversation completely collapses here. Instead of actually talking, people just go to vibrational war, which just drains whatever tiny bit of inner fire they had left.
I think this experience is perfectly captured by Evelyn, a 20-year-old student quoted in the source material. She says, "I'd lie awake at night, totally exhausted, and still feel empty. Dim, like I'd given all my glow away, piece by piece." Wow. I mean, that is an incredibly relatable anchor for anyone who has found themselves caught up in this disposable desire culture. You constantly chase these short-term highs, whether it's relationships or consumerism, and you just end up feeling completely glowless.
Let's look at how this cycle actually breaks down mechanically. First, people go hunting for temporary sparks, these really short, fast bursts of intensity. But because there's no deep virtue or real commitment grounding them down, they just abandon the relationship or the job or the hobby the second that initial high fades away. They get the high, it normalizes, and boom, they bounce. And repeatedly cycling through this, it leaves young people utterly drained, glowless. It might feel like you're in control because you are the one constantly moving, but in reality, you're just giving all your energy away to things that are never going to keep you warm.
Moving on to Section 3, the collapse of reality. Let's see how this individual exhaustion scales up and actually starts fracturing our shared world. This source material makes a really compelling argument here. It says that virtues, things like truth and integrity, are basically like a common code. They allow society to all run on the same operating program. So without those shared virtues, society just fragments into these isolated, low-vibration echo cells. When morals become purely optional or entirely personalized, we completely lose our shared reality. People retreat into these tiny little pockets where literally the only thing they can agree on is who they distrust or who they hate. And that fragmentation, it makes us incredibly easy targets for all those digital tempters who just thrive in the noise.
So, the crucial point is that this isn't just some theoretical philosophy. It triggers what Lord Blue calls frequency hijacking. We're talking brain fog, memory death, this constant, nameless grief. These are very real, very tangible physical symptoms felt by 20-somethings who are just staring blankly at glowing devices late into the night. Think about it. These are young adults who are born with an amazing capacity for deep virtue, but because no one ever taught them how to feed that flame, digital architects just stepped right into the vacuum. The youth can absolutely feel that something is missing, but they've basically been trained to search for the match on a glass screen instead of looking inside their own hearts.
But, hey, there is a way out. Let's pivot to Section 4, Becoming an Evolver. This outlines a really clear, structured solution to escaping this whole outrage cycle. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how this ledger of virtues breaks down the distortion. It shows how real virtues have been warped into these low-vibration substitutes. For instance, peace has been replaced by apathy, just pure numbness and a total dependence on external entertainment. Gratitude? That's mutated into entitlement and these endless victim stories where literally nothing is ever enough. Hope is now just wishful thinking and pure escapism. And integrity is devolved into selective ethics where trust completely collapses because everyone is just making exceptions for themselves. Recognizing these distorted knockoffs is literally the very first step in taking your spiritual sovereignty back.
Lord Blue describes this as a mechanical autocorrection. He calls it the crash that has to happen. And look, it's not a horror story. It's honestly just the physics of the system. Let's walk through it. First, your virtues empty out. Second, those emotional spikes and crashes start getting really violent and unbearable. Third, the whole system begins to autocorrect because a society literally cannot survive without some kind of vibrational buffer. And finally, fourth, this forces a massive, vital choice onto you as an individual. You either dissolve completely into the angry, reactive static of that atmospheric slime, or you make a highly deliberate choice to evolve.
And that brings us to the ultimate solution here, becoming an evolver. Now, an evolver is not someone who is flawless or perfect, not at all. It is simply a person who stops letting the crowd define their meaning. It's someone who stops chasing all these optional, trendy values and actively, deliberately rebuilds their own internal bank accounts of virtue, that holy fire we talked about. They become a stable lighthouse in a totally spinning world. Honestly, it is the ultimate empowerment. It's a rebellion against an attention economy that is literally designed to drain you dry. You choose to be a point of stability, and eventually, other people who are just tired of crashing are going to steer right toward your light.
So we're going to leave you with this powerful, lingering question to think about. Will you dissolve into the static, or will you choose to light your own sacred fire and evolve? The system is designed to force you to choose, so why not start your own vibrational audit today? Check your internal bank accounts, identify where those emotional knockoffs are hiding in your life, and start building some real shock absorbers. Thank you so much for joining us for this explainer. I really hope it sparks some deep reflection for you, and we will definitely see you on the next one.